Hello, everybody. Welcome to Expression Pass here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host and delighted, excited Eddie V. Joining me is the good doc himself, Mr. Austin Campbell from Crossroads. Hello, good sir.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going good. If you guys have not checked out one of our earlier discussions, me and Austin was talking about religion playing a part on your moral choices, and that was a very good discussion. I do recommend you guys check it out if you haven't. If you actually want to see it in more of these early events, sign up for our Patreon. You can get bonus content like this way in advance. So, Austin, you have a topic. So I'm going to put the hosting hands or the hosting duties into your hands at this time.
Well, I don't know if you should put the hosting in my hands, but I'm willing. I'm willing to hold the reins for a second.
Okay.
So yeah. Well, last time we talked about religion and moral choices. And this time you asked me for a topic idea, and I said, well, I want to talk about sin in gaming, but not necessarily sin as in bad things in gaming or anything like that. But I mean it more in a development sense. What are things in games that developers should stop doing? And we were already talking in the chat all kinds of things that we already got it lined up. We don't want these developers to do these anymore. Stop doing these things in games. And so that's gonna be the discussion. Really, is just what do you want people to stop doing?
Okay, we're gonna save the big one for later.
Okay, because we're both in agreement on that one.
I want them to stop showing trailers for games that are not ready. I am tired of not seeing actual gameplay. I am tired of seeing that it looks good for a cutscene and then it's questionable content when the game is in action, and maybe that part not is even in there. Yes, I know everybody's gonna say about Cyberpunk 2077, but this has happened on multiple games.
Everyone's guilty of this one.
Yes.
Everyone's guilty.
Watch Dogs is a big example.
Watch Dogs 1 was almost unbearable because it was like, oh, it's next gen PS4, then not really. Not really.
And the thing about it is it got clowned because Mario Kart 8 came out and destroyed it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's almost like, and this could be another thing, but like maybe, just maybe, whatever you're going to do in the second game to improve it, put it in the first game.
Yeah.
Because Watch Dogs 2 is a fantastic game. That game has
a
way better story, way better environments, better ideas, and Watch Dogs 1. Now, I have to apologize. Nelly, I'm sorry, because Nelly loves Watch Dogs 1. She loves Aiden Pierce, which I think is his name.
Which I think is a cool character.
But I think he might be the only part that's cool. Like everything else is very bland. Which that game is in Chicago, correct?
Yes.
Did it feel like it gave the Chicago vibe on that game? Did it feel like it gave all the life that Chicago deserves?
No.
That's what I thought. Yeah. It made Chicago seem like a very boring place. It made Chicago seem like Tulsa.
Yeah. So. That's one of my biggest gaming sins because, as much as, and everybody know I am the Nintendo guy on Boss Rush. I am a big Nintendo fan. I love Nintendo. I always put it number one against anything else. And I know from some people they're like, oh, Nintendo can't do no wrong. And sometimes in my eyes they can't. But that's, I think, why I love Nintendo and their trailers and stuff is because, yes, even though it is fun and stuff, at some point in time they can show you a trailer, but they're always going to show you some actual gameplay and they're going to break it down. They're not going to wait to the day of release and then throw it out and be like, oh, here you go, this is how the game looks. No, they're going to be like, this is the prototype, this is the idea that we're working on, or this is what's coming soon, and bam, when you get it, this is the polish that is in the game, and there's more to it that you did not know. You know.
Now, do you include teaser trailers in this discussion? Is teaser trailers part of this?
So teasers I could understand, but you only get to do teasers twice.
Okay.
A bad teaser is Battlefield 2042.
Yeah, well, Battlefield 2042 is a bad just period.
But this is the thing about it, is that you tease this announcement, and then when you get the announcement, you tease the game. Okay, I'm gonna let it slide. I should not have to wait. If you're gonna tease this announcement to be like, oh, we got something really good, and then be like, oh, there's another hour wait before we actually show you, and then it's only a 5-minute trailer. To be like, you could have did this on any video game platform. You could have threw this on Xbox to be like, watch this, and been done with it. You teased us to show something that we don't know about, with a game that looks kind of basic in a sense. Like, nothing exciting about it. Like, if you're gonna do a teaser trailer, I want to see that Nintendo Switch logo come up. Because it's going to make people excited, and it's going to get people to talk. Who was talking about? I want it for any video game that, well, third party and indie, I should say. And I understand if it's console specific, or there's a game that cannot be done on Switch, and we all know about cloud gaming and stuff like that. That's fine. But you know that if a game, whether it's good quality or not or anything, even if the graphics are downgraded, if you know that it's coming to Nintendo Switch, and you treat it with respect, that once it releases on Xbox and PlayStation, it also releases on Switch along with PC. I mean, everything gets that day one release. People are willing to be like, okay, I seen the teaser, I can't believe it's on Switch, but I'm going to try it on Switch. You're going to see the money go in on Switch because it's curiosity on how that game is going to run.
Well, what's a game in particular that did this particular thing? I'm blanking on a game that teased and didn't say it was coming to Switch, but then eventually did come, but didn't really promote it.
So one of them is kind of like, well, it's kind of like Crash Bandicoot in a sense. And it's a lot of Activision games that they will mention it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation and stuff, and then it's a possibility that game may show up on Switch. And you'd be like, oh, you waited a year after the initial release of this game to come out, now it's on Switch?
Well, do you think it's because they wanted to make sure that it would run on Switch? I mean, Crash Bandicoot is going to run on Switch fine, but I wonder if that, because now I kind of understand what you mean, because Death's Door, when it was announced, it was just Xbox, even though it was going to eventually come to Nintendo and PlayStation. It was announced for Xbox. It came out as Xbox.
So this is the thing about Death's Door. No one knew that game exists. I've never heard of Death's Door. I've never seen a trailer for it. Even during E3, I haven't seen nothing about it. I feel like that was a game that just appeared on Xbox. But when it was just like, oh, it's coming to PlayStation and it's coming to Switch, people were just like, oh, I'm finally going to get a chance to play Death's Door, and they played it on Switch. I think when it comes to teasers, what's another game?
Well, I was trying to think of. I mean, here's another one that people. Okay, so Final Fantasy VII Remastered. It's still not clear if it'll ever come to Xbox. I don't think it's going to come to Switch. I think it's too big of a game, and I don't know if anyone's going to want to play a cloud version of Final Fantasy VII Remake. But everyone is still wondering, will it come to Xbox? If it's 2 years or whatever, 3 years later, would you still want it to be said, hey, it's coming to Xbox, but it's going to be like 3 years later? Because who knows what Sony paid to make it exclusive.
I think Xbox players are over Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think even PlayStation owners are over Final Fantasy VII Remake, because it's just like, when are we going to get these parts if you guys are going to be taking all this time to get it done? Like, yeah, this game should have been. I was just watching E3 2013 when it was initially announced.
Yeah.
And all the ups and downs that this game got delayed, even with Shenmue 3 and stuff. And it was just like, oh my goodness, all of these big games that's supposed to be coming to PlayStation 4 came late. Like, literally came late. You know, and so it's just like, you teasing us. And Shenmue 3 is a really big one that I was just like, oh, they just really getting y'all for y'all money, for y'all coins. And then it releases as some big questionable content as a game. Like, it got low ratings. Where Bayonetta 2, it made people upset because it was coming to Switch, and then people seen it. It was just like, oh my goodness, this game is going to be on Wii U. And then people played it and were just like, oh, this is literally Game of the Year. And the fact,
well, I don't know if I was saying that, but
but the thing about it is, it's just like, on how good that quality was on Switch. Don't forget, everybody did not care about Platinum at all. If they cared about Platinum, there were no Clover games, and they did not. There's no way that you sell almost 2 million or a lot of the first game on 2 platforms, and then Sony, if Sony and Microsoft are not interested in your game, and it comes to Nintendo, and it makes you not only one of your best games, but it actually gets you to work to other developers and make you become a well-known game. Who was talking about Platinum at all? No one was talking about Platinum when Vanquish came out. No one was really talking about Bayonetta 1 when it came out. Bayonetta 2, Platinum and Nintendo, oh, there was mad talk about that game. And then Activision got with them to make the Transformers games and stuff. You know, a lot of people were talking about Platinum, but don't forget, it was started with that little teaser that Nintendo went to Platinum Games to bring an M-rated game to their system because of the stereotype of Nintendo being family friendly. I'm just like, y'all really haven't played a lot of Nintendo games, because if you did, you would understand that some of these E-rated games will piss adults off.
Yeah.
You go ahead and play Super Mario Galaxy with the Wii controller and see if you can get 100 stars. Oh, you would see the upsets. Even new Super Mario Brothers, an E-rated game, was pissing adults off. So what's family friendly about that?
Well, I'm actually gonna say something that this might be a hot take. Well, I wouldn't even say a hot take, but I think it's family friendly because I'm going to tell you this. When I was a kid, I guarantee you I could get 100 stars. And all the Mario games were a piece of cake, you know, when I was a kid. And when I'm an adult, something lost. I lost something. I don't know. I have played through Super Mario World, I don't know how many times. But every time I play it, since I'm really familiar with it, I can play through it pretty well. But when there's like a big gap between when I played on Game Boy Advance and then when I played it on, the next time I played it was on the Mini NES.
Yes.
Was like night and day. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do what I used to do anymore. Like, I was struggling. By the time I got to like the 5th and 6th world, I was like, oh my God, I'm hurting here. I'm hurting here. Because the first world I was doing good, second world I was doing good. The third and fourth world are my favorites in Super Mario World. But then when you get to 5th, and then when you get to 6th, and you have like, I don't even know. 6th, I was like, I don't even know if I remember beating it. honestly. But I was just like, and then all the bonus levels, I was like, oh, I forgot everything. Like, I really think that like family friendly games in that sense doesn't mean a lot, because I think kids tend to be a better gamer as a kid than you do it as an adult.
But it's so funny that kids struggle and adults struggle when it comes to playing all of the Mario games.
Not all of them, but I'm telling you, I was decent, but my younger brother was way better, and like he could beat Mega Man 2 like nothing, or Mega Man 3 like nothing, like in Mega Man, all the Mega Man's like just nothing. It's like it didn't hurt, or even Castlevania and stuff like that. But you know, it just. But then like if he plays Neo, it's like it's broken. Something doesn't work. I think people are just good at different games. I'm way better at puzzle games than a lot of people are. Like, you know, some of my friends would be like, I can't do like The Witness. A lot of my friends could not do The Witness. Me, I had no problem, because it's something that I understand.
Yes.
But let me tell you, when we do racing games, like not really Mario Kart, but like Forza, or my brain goes dumb. I don't understand it. I'm like, how am I supposed to? How are you all not braking and still making the turn? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't understand it. You know, like and people's minds just work differently. People's minds are work in different ways. Where I think like there's a Dark Souls community where it's like, oh, these are the hardest games, and then they can't beat 2D platforms. But then there's people who play 2D platforms like no problem and can't do the 3D games. And there's some people that don't know how to do JRPGs. That's me. Is another thing where I have no problem with JRPGs. I can do them really well. But when you give me Bloodborne, I could do fine because it was fast. But when you tell me to be patient for Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, I'm like, nope, I don't like this. I don't like being patient. Like 2D platform, Cuphead, I was way better at because it's fast paced. It's go, go, go. When it's Castlevania or anything where it's like really, really close, I'm like, I'm out. So it just depends. It really depends on what you are as a gamer to get that.
That's true, and that may be the thing that causes our gaming sense, in a way, is that there's different things about different games that we see on a consistent basis that different developers or that same developer does, and we get tired of it. It's just like, okay, I have done this. Me and you are going to be talking about the Uncharted series, and Uncharted 2 sometimes, and I told LeRon this, that I respect Uncharted 2. I have my problems with it, but if I jump on another platform and I grab it and it does that diagonal camera shot when he's holding on again, and then 10 minutes later does the same thing, I hate. I despise that. I get the picture.
That's actually not what I was going to talk about. So that's interesting. that's not the complaint I have about Uncharted.
When I play the Uncharted games, that camera angle always happens on Drake. It always happens, and it's just like, this is getting insufferable. Like, I'm sick of this. Stop doing this. I get the point of what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to build tension. I know you're trying to build suspense. But this has happened within the last 5 minutes. I have jumped on this platform and you have went to that camera angle. I have did this. I had just pulled myself off, walked onto another wall. Here go another cutscene style kind of gameplay, and now the camera angle is the same thing, but it's on the other side. I'm tired of this. You have already pulled this trick off about 10 times in the last 20 minutes that I have been playing this game, and it is sickening. Stop it. And that's kind of why I had it with some of the Uncharted games. It's just like, when I do not like when they do, I'm gonna put you in the present, throw 75% of the game in the past, and then make you replay the present, and then throw the other 25 for no apparent reason, just making the game longer. Naughty Dog is bad at that. Even The Last of Us Part 2 is bad at that. I understand what you're trying to do, but it doesn't become a game to me. It becomes on something that you're dragging on too long. You're trying to make up for the delays of development, and this is unnecessary. It's a big game scene. I love Naughty Dog. I think they're one. I wrote a boss rush better because I think they're one of the greatest companies that Sony has. With Insomniac being number 2, Sucker Punch being number 3, but stop it. Just make.
I haven't played Last of Us Part 2, so I won't speak to that. But I don't see that problem in Uncharted. I don't, except for 4. I think 4 is the only one that adds too much stuff in there that's like doesn't need to be in there. But I think 1, 2, 3, and Last of Us are perfectly cut. I think they're, because it's like story hit, the story beat, especially Last of Us. I think that to me, that's the strong point of Last of Us 1 is just
that is
story beat, the story beat, the story beat.
That is sometimes a big gaming sin because it becomes almost a cinematic sin to me. Last of Us Part 1. And this don't have to do with most of the other part of the game. It has to deal with that intro. That I yelled at this game. I wanted to yell at Naughty Dog. And it's the point where you're holding your daughter, where Joel is holding the daughter, and the cop shoots, makes a shot. Okay. He shot about 3 or 4 bullets from his gun. How in the world your daughter gets hit, but not you? One of those bullets would it hit you also? Not just your daughter. Just the way that the position that he's holding the daughter and the way that he is at. Just seeing that, you would be like, okay, Joe, you would have got hit and maybe die also. Or you would have just been, injured. I mean, I can understand your daughter dying, but it looked like he didn't take no hits. So he basically, and this is what I'm getting from, and this is why I call it's a big sin, and I wish Naughty Dog, hopefully they don't never include this ever again. You treated your daughter as a shield.
I wouldn't put it that way.
Play Last of Us. Play that intro and get to that part, and look at the cuts. Look at that cutscene right there, and look at the position of what the daughter is, and how many shots happen with the gun. You would be like, "Oh my goodness!" In reality, if you think about it, he used the daughter as a shield. Because why would Naughty Dog allow for the girl to die and not allow Joel to be hit just to progress the story?
Well, I think it's a little different considering that's the beginning of the game. I think without that would be the end. There would be no game. It would just be
which I understand. But you would say this is the most illogical mess. That you, as a developer, let the girl die and not let Joel be injured at all. It's not the mental picture. It's the bullet that came from a gun, from a police officer.
Yeah,
he didn't do one shot. He released some rounds when they showed her. She was coughing. Of course, you can't see the bullet wound or anything, but I understand that she got hit and she's dying. Okay, I understand that, but nothing happened to Joel.
So you would at least want Joel to get hit in the arm or something?
Yes.
Okay.
If we're going
I can see that.
If we're going to go for this emotional state and everything,
he should come away with a leg injury.
Bullet wound. Bullet wound.
You're saying You're
because
saying Joel didn't have it hard enough. He lost his daughter, but he needs a gunshot wound
he
too.
he lost his daughter, but he would have also been hit. And it's to me is presenting at is to me I'm taking it as okay, this wouldn't happen. I understand the daughter getting hit, but Joel, you will also get hit because of the position that you're holding your daughter, and you are literally visible where you should be hit. Also, because the thing about it is the way that he hit it looked like he was ballet turning when his daughter got hit. So, and the guy was still shooting. So there would have been, if your daughter got hit, there would have been you still standing up before you hit the ground, a bullet hitting you in the back or something.
Right.
Or when if it got hit, you and her would have been hit with the bullet, but somehow it would have probably scraped you, but yet hit the daughter and killed her.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like, no, you used her as a shield, and somehow you didn't get hit, but she did. That's a big gaming sin. I hate illogical stuff in cutscenes that makes me want to scream at a game.
But can't you say that a lot of games are just illogical? Like, isn't that the point?
It's illogical. Yes, it's illogical when you're actually playing the game, but there should be some kind of sense when it's a cutscene, and the way that goes, it should kind of be like, okay, if this gets shot, you should also get shot too. Because that's why I yelled at Uncharted 2. That's what I was mad with, the part where you're on the train. And that's why I said this is a big gaming sin of illogical mess. You mean to tell me you're shooting on that train, that Indian, with AK-47s, bombs, grenades, you're throwing everything in your arsenal at him. But Chloe comes out with a Magnum or something, does one shot, and he's dead? So I'm supposed to accept that. I've been on this train. I've been on this train. I'm finding you as a boss. You're taking 55,000 hits. She come up with a hit and kills. That's like me. That's like literally me. I hit somebody with a fireball from Mario, but Princess Peach touches Bowser. And the touch of Bowser, when she touched Bowser's hand, is the power that she has with a star. It just automatically kills him. Even though I was hitting Bowser with 5,000 fireballs.
Well, it's not as powerful as the power of the star, man. I mean,
it's a sin. It's illegal. If I hit you with a rocket, your rocket should be able to kill you, not a Magnum.
So, let's say Resident Evil. The pistol, you could shoot a zombie 20 times, but you get the Magnum, it's one shot.
Yes, because guess what? The Magnum is powerful than the pistol. That's logical.
Well, can't you say that the Magnum is more powerful than an AK-47 bullet, and it's way more accurate?
If it's, in a sense, compared to what is happening in Uncharted, the Magnum is kind of powerful, it whatever sense, because you don't really get the Magnum because that's really Barry's weapon, and you really don't get the AK-47 and stuff. But the Magnum, yes, it's going to be powerful than the AK-47. That's understandable. But if you're not hitting a zombie with 55 bullets from an AK-47 before he goes down, you're hitting that boss for a good while with everything until a cutscene happens and she comes out and hits him with one bullet. Mind you, you just hit this boss, with multiple hits.
Well, maybe it's not just Nathan Drake who runs on luck. Maybe it's the bosses who also run on luck. Because that's, I don't know if you've ever read that, but in Nathan Drake, people are like, how does he take all of these bullets and not die? Well, it's because they're really missing him, and the blood, quote unquote, the red that's coming out is his luck running out.
Yes.
And it's only the one bullet that kills him. Maybe it's for everybody in Uncharted.
It's one of those kind of sponges in games. I think that's a really big game.
That's a sin, honestly, to me. This is one I was going to bring up is
yes.
I'm tired of bullet sponges.
Yes.
I would rather have enemies where they only die with headshots, or they only die after disabling their armor or something like that. But don't give me a guy that just looks bigger and just takes a bunch of bullets, or don't give me the same guys that just have a different color of armor that take a bunch of bullets for the other one. I think that's something that all games should really, really just like not do. Is I would rather there be this might be I actually don't like that games I get why they get harder as you go along, but I don't think it's necessary. This is something that Guardians of the Galaxy did really well. Is the bad guys in and of itself were harder to beat, but it's because they had different there's different elements to take them down, or they had more shield. They have like a shield that they would put up. There was stuff you could see that was actually blocking. It wasn't just like, all right, this guy took 10 bullets and now he takes 20 and now he takes 50 or whatever. You actually saw what they were doing to keep them alive longer. And when their shields were down, they were going down as fast as other characters were during the middle of the game, beginning of the game. That's something that I hope more games do in the future. And I don't think that a game necessarily needs to be harder the more you go along. Now, counteract that, if you want to make the bosses harder, you need to make the game harder. That way you're building up to face those bosses. You don't want to play a game that's pretty easy, and then the final boss is just like mega hard. You're not going to be prepared for that,
Which I feel like that's why I love the modern Tomb Raiders, because they all feel balanced. Even though you may be weak and stuff, you're grabbing materials and gaining levels to choose to make yourself stronger. And yet, there's a challenge that's presented itself, but you can easily overcome it if you just be smart, if you be a little bit patient. But if you know what you're doing, you could get through those sections. Everything flows, everything connects, and I feel like Naughty Dog sometimes doesn't realize that, in a sense. And I know when we talk about bullet sponges, oh, trust me, there is a lot of that in games.
Yeah, I love Borderlands, but that's like the one that it's there. It's just there, and it's in Destiny, and it's in it's in. See, this is one thing I actually do like about Modern Warfare, or all the Call of Duty games, is the enemies are pretty much the same, but the way it's harder is they're in harder to places to see, or you're using different weapons, or you get less ammo. Like, that's a creative way to make it harder.
Yes.
Without making the enemies just like, all right, now you got to take 50 bullets instead. It just takes longer to beat them. It's more annoying. Whereas if you make less ammo, less grenades, if you put them in higher and lower spots, there's people coming from the ceiling and the bottom floor instead of just coming at you and just running towards you and not going down because you didn't empty your whole clip in them.
Yes.
Shooting games are terrible at that. As much as I love first-person shooters, there's a lot of terrible ones, but they are getting better. And I think that's one thing that Call of Duty doesn't get enough credit for, is getting creative. And really, they're not creative because they've been doing this for a while, but making it where it's not like harder characters come in. It's all right, they're coming from different ways, or the level is changed where it's not necessarily harder. It's just like it's different. The environment's different.
Yeah,
I think that's something they don't get credit for.
one last game of sin for me, and then we're gonna get to the main game of sin.
Okay.
Insomniac used to do this with Ratchet and Clank, and sometimes they still do it, where there's are sections that you get on a turret and you gotta shoot, and there's so much coming at you. You wish that it would have been smart, just like please do not put where you have to stop to let a cooldown. I hate cooldown in games because it ruins the flow. And Insomniac used to be bad with this at Ratchet and Clank because of the cooldown. It would literally make me automatically fail some of the stuff. And it was just like, well, you already throwing stuff at me. I'm trying to move, but you got this turret moving slow. Also, it's not everything is not quick. If you would just let me shoot at them and just let it go on like I'm playing Space Harrier or some kind of run and gun thing, just let the thing go. Don't even worry about a cooldown thing. I would enjoy that more. But because that cooldown is in some of those sections, and even Gears used to do this too, I used to just be like, this makes me fail because you want me to cool down, but you're still throwing enemies at me. You don't let me cool down when I'm trying to have this ongoing fight.
I think you just don't like turrets because you also don't like the dead space. That
one was hot trash. Hot trash. I'm not even going to say questionable content. That was hot garbage. Hot trash with molded cheese on top.
I wasn't gonna say that one, but another gaming sin that I was gonna say was, and it's kind of along the same lines. Another thing that you could add is like Arkham Knight with the tank battles and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
taking me out of the game, but unnecessary and more importantly, uncreative puzzles in regular action games, aka Spider-Man on PS4 when you do the stupid experiments and stuff, where it's not fun. It's not challenging, and it takes you out of the game. No, thank you. You know, I'm gonna call out one of my favorite games of all time, like BioShock. As much as I love that game, when I go back and play it, the first time, like, I love that game, but when I go to hack and I have to do that stupid pipe thing that I've done a billion times, I'm like, I don't want to play this.
That I don't want to play this. That and Onimusha used to do that so much. I'm like, I don't need this at all.
Yeah. The replayability makes it hard because it's almost like, man, I wish there was a way to like where I could play BioShock. And after I played through it once, when I play through it again, because I play through BioShock quite a bit, I can skip those, or maybe you can find more auto hacks in the map where I can use auto hacks instead of doing that hack mini game, because it takes you out of the game. And then it's not the only one. There's plenty of games that do unnecessary and uncreative. If you can make them creative, aka like and this is a little different, but like God of War puzzles or Tomb Raider puzzles and stuff like that, like where you're messing with the environment, that's different. But when you're just like, all right, pour this into this, and then what? No, don't do this. Don't do this. It's not Resident Evil where puzzles are like a huge part of the game.
I will say this: BioShock Infinite. Don't you ever, or anyone who's worked on that game, or
now watch your words. Watch your words. This is my favorite game of all time. Be careful.
I'm going to probably piss some people off. That final battle, don't you ever do that again. Because they throw everything at you, and it takes forever to get through. That battle is so unfair, even on normal. Don't let you ever do it again. Now, we can have a difference of opinion.
We might have to make a whole episode about BioShock Infinite. We might have to make a whole episode. Well, I understand what you're saying. That final kind of final fight, but because are you talking about the one on the ship with all the that one is a little insane. When I watch people who play it though, too many people use the guns and not the figures. If you use the vigors, that's gonna be the.
Well, I think that's the problem with some of the Bioshock things is that when you get these supernatural powers and you want to use them, it really I that's that's what I had a really big problem with the first Bioshock. I respect it. I think it's a great game. I definitely love the ending. I love like saving the girls and stuff, and getting that final ending. I thought that was so cool. I think it's just like they don't incorporate those powers enough to use in a sense. I feel like they are trying to go for a Metroid kind of feel to it, but I think when the guns do enough for you, you end up playing it like a first person shooter than what it's supposed to be, the sci-fi adventure. And I think when you can't use that in a lot of battles, because this is the problem that I have even with Bioshock Infinite, it's just like I never felt like I needed to use those powers in a sense to get through the game. All I need is the ammo and just be able to shoot them down. So it's just
until the end.
Until you get the end. Right. But it's just like you've been through the whole game shooting and you just don't even realize that. It's kind of like the Final Fantasy VIII battle where all you've been doing is using magic, and then you get to the one boss that you can't use. You really can't use any magic. You really got a melee text you got to do, and it's kicking your tail. You know, it's just like I think there's not a balance in some of the enemy placements or enemy fights. So I think that's why I enjoy Bioshock Infinite. I love the beginning. Oh, I love saving the interracial couples. I love that. That final that final battle could go to hell. This is hot.
But it's followed up by one of the greatest endings in video games.
Oh yes, I love the ending.
I love that ending so much.
Yes,
I love that ending so much.
100%.
One more before we get to the big one, because this is the one that I want to bring with Uncharted, and this is a short one.
Okay.
We talked about how bad. Okay, I'm gonna come out and say it. Uncharted 1's final boss, sucks. Uncharted 2's final boss sucks. Uncharted 3's final boss also kind of sucks, but not as bad, and it's kind of creative, but not really. Yes. Uncharted 4 is the stupidest final boss I think I've ever played in a video game, because this is the most egregious sin I've ever seen in a video game. How the hell are you going to make me have a tutorial in the final battle using a weapon that I never used the whole entire game? You are shooting this whole entire time, and then when you get to that ship, they give you a sword, and you're in this final fight. I'm spoiling Uncharted 4, kind of. You're in a final fight. This game's been building all this way, and they're like, here's a tutorial menu screen. That totally takes me out of the game. Like, that takes me out of the total ending. That's like you watching, you're watching Star Wars, and right before you find out that Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's father, you get a menu pop-up screen trying to give you a deleted scene or like a commentary or some bullshit like that. Like when I play, I liked Uncharted 4. It's not one of my favorite. Uncharted 3 is my favorite. I get clowned on Crossroads for that one.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Then someone's got to be right, Ed, and it's got to be us, I guess. Yeah. So tell Ron doesn't know what he's talking about. He's always about 2. I'm like, 2's final boss is terrible. It's like, all right, I'm gonna shoot a bunch of guns, throw a bunch of grenades, and hopefully I get lucky and those fruits don't land on me or whatever, or the fruits land next to him. It's so stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much. But 4, final boss, you're on the ship. The treasure is in your hands, but you're realizing that this treasure, you gotta let it go. Here's a tutorial screen. Here's how to control a sword that you never used this whole entire game. I would have rather the final boss fight not even be a fight, and would rather it be like a quick time event where maybe I just use melee punches. I would have rather had that than you have a sword fight in a game that never used swords. That was the worst thing that a Naughty Dog's game has ever done. And I haven't played Last of Us Part 2, but I'm pretty willing to stand on that.
That's
my biggest sin. But Here's the biggest one we really want to talk about.
Yes, the biggest sin, because this is gonna be our last one, everybody. The biggest sin is Ubisoft. You placing too much crap in your open world games that does not benefit us. It does not benefit the story. It's just there to make the game longer. Stop it.
And not just Ubisoft either. There's a lot of games that are doing this.
Oh, yes.
But Ubisoft is the most egregious. And I love Far Cry games. And I think they do the best job out of the open world games that Ubisoft has, as far as like limiting, because you can finish it all in like 40, 50 hours.
Yes.
But this, Ed, let me tell you, Valhalla broke me. I couldn't do it. I was like, this is way too much. This is too much added from online stuff. It kept warning about people that I don't know that are not my friends on PlayStation, asking me to revenge them to make this game longer. I don't need this game to be longer. This game is taking people 200 plus hours to finish. And I understand if you enjoy it, but I just want to get through the story, man. I don't want all this extra stuff, you know?
That Assassin's Creed Origin, I feel like that's where it started. It may have been earlier in the games in Assassin's Creed. That was just too much. I understood it in Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4. I don't know what the heck that was, but it was literally too much. And it's just like, this doesn't serve any purpose for me. Like, I really don't get no reward or anything. You just place this to make the game longer. What is the plot? Get me through the main story. Let me upgrade when I finish the main campaign throughout the levels and call it a day. All this unnecessary stuff makes no sense. And not Assassin's Creed, just Ubisoft, to me personally, they do it badly. I'm just like, I feel like Square Enix and with the Tomb Raider games, they do a good mixture of it. There's a nice balance because there is a payoff. It's going towards your, opening up and getting Lara Croft stronger. Assassin's Creed, though, it's just like, this is way too long. There's no sense that in the first area I have 3 story beats and then I have 37 side quests.
Yeah.
And of that 1/3 of that 37 is the same thing.
Same thing. Well, and that's the thing. I like I said earlier, Far Cry does a little better of a job in this because you can platinum that game in 40, 50 hours, but you can't platinum Assassin's Creed in 40, 50 hours.
Oh no.
It's double and much longer than that. And it's all this. So like Witcher 3, a long game to play, but every side quest has a story connected to it.
Yes.
Everything is interesting. The most monotonous things in Witcher 3 are like the monster nest. But even then, there's a fight going on or something like that. Assassin's Creed and Far Cry and Immortal Phoenix Rising, it's just like boring chest or with no story, no lore behind it, just another chest with some gold in it and a rusty sword or whatever you want to find. But it's on my map and you want to get rid of it because you're just trying to like, and I have ADD like really bad. Like when I have an open world game, this is the thing that broke me in Valhalla. And it started in Origins, but Valhalla made it worse, was like, there'd be all these markers on your map and you can clear them. But when you come back to that area, they're all still there. And I was like, nope, I'm out. I can't do that. That bothers me to no end when there are things that I've already looked at and now they're back. Like I have to mark everything off that checklist. Because what if I missed it? What if there's a story beat I missed because I didn't pick up whatever there? Now I don't know. I don't remember. Your game takes 200 hours to beat. I can't remember everything I did in your game. Love Ghost of Tsushima. Did every side quest. I'm like, okay, why do I not have this platinum? What am I missing? And I could not figure out, still to this very day, I could not figure out that I did everything in this game. Mm-hmm. Why
why is this game is not platinum? And this is the thing with side quests in some of the open world games. You would get the side quest and would have to travel 6 to 7 minutes to get to the area that you need to be. And it's just like, why? This is unnecessary. Why can't I just travel something that is right across the street or something and I just go in and kick tail?
Yeah. Well, and now I'm about to say something egregious, so bear with me, Ed. Because Ubisoft, they have a big open world that they don't need. They need to make it smaller. They need to make it more compact and stop throwing all this random stuff in it. But there's another game that's on a Nintendo Switch
and
I cannot. It's so big and it's so bland when you're going in between each place that you need to go to.
Yes, I agree.
It's so bland. This is why I did not like Breath of the Wild. It's like way down the list for Zelda games for me, because when I play Zelda games, I love the story. I love the compact story. I like it being mainline. I like it to be as front facing as possible. I don't like the open world Zelda, and I don't know if I will ever like open world Zelda.
But this is the thing about it, because Zelda has always been open world since the first Legend of Zelda. I think the thing that separates it from other open world games is that you don't need to do it. It's very optional. If you feel like you want to do it, you can.
But see, that's a problem to be.
But see, at least it gives you the option. You don't have to do that at all. If you literally could just be minding on your own business and literally fall into a side quest, it would not even know, because Breath of the Wild is a science. It's a science game. It's a bunch of physics that you could do. It's a wonder of, if I do A, would B be caused so I could get to C. Like, you don't like you could go and do the main stuff that you need to, but if you want to make your character stronger, go ahead and do it. If you want to go fight Ganon, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
It's literally, it doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't put all of this stuff. If you feel like you can see it, be like, okay, that may be an area. You plot your course and go to it. You don't need to, but if you want to, go ahead. Now, if you do see one of the little things, I cannot think of it right now. If you see a shrine that you want to go to, you be like, ooh, how do I get to that shrine? And it gets you. It's going to nitpick you at maximum capacity. Because you just be like, I want to get to this shrine. I want to get what's in it. And then you get into the shrine, and be like, how the heck do I figure out this puzzle? I don't got no arrows. I don't got no fire. And you just be like, I hate this. But you fell into it, or you decided that you wanted to go in there. So I can understand. You don't have to like Breath of the Wild, Austin.
But I'm saying, like, it's one of those things where, and I know I'm in the minority on that game, like a major minority. There's so many people that like that game, and I just don't understand it. But
I think it's because it's fresh. It was something fresh or something different.
It was different, and I will give it that, but I just did not like it. Except for, I love the ending. The castle area is like, that part was like, okay, I like this game. I like that single part. And when you got to like the hub worlds, like the city worlds and like that to me was like I was more into those. But anytime I was like in the forest and just like seeing different shrines or whatever, I was like, no, this is the Assassin's Creed thing with me. It's like, yeah, there's some underground caves you can go visit and you can do these puzzles and whatever, but I was like, the fact that it's not like checkmarked or anything also was like made the Assassin's Creed stuff to me even worse, because now I'm like, did I go over there? Did I already do this? I don't remember. Like, it just.
I think with Zelda, with Breath of the Wild, that Yes, I get that. I understand. I get it. I think to me it's just like somehow because of the world that I'm in, it feels natural. And it's been 100 years, and Link is just like he don't remember any of this, so he's new to it, just like us. And I think that is the thing, just to be like, oh, they're not telling me where to go. They're not holding my hand. I just
Mhm.
happen to hear this beep, and okay, this is a shrine.
Mhm.
Let me go into it, or here goes some gold, or here goes this kind of character, or what the heck? This mailman turned into the Yi Guy clan, and it's just like I think it's just something that's it's very it's a fantasy world, but there's
Mhm.
some kind of natural feeling to it,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
and it's also because it doesn't hold your hand. It demands your attention.
Yes,
Whereas
yes,
I can leave Assassin's Creed, like I can go back and play Origins and have no problem. Because I beat the game, like the story part of it, but I
hmm,
didn't finish all the stuff that was in there. I could go back and play Origins anytime if I want to platinum it. When I left Breath of the Wild for a while and I came back, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. I would like to just explore and try to find stuff that I haven't done before, but I was like, I don't remember. I don't remember. And that to me is the problem with a lot of open world games is it's so much of the stuff is just unmemorable. And yes, you do remember those big memories,
yeah.
but why can't that all just be together?
Can I tell
you
you
know.
the I think the two best open world games that get it right, that I don't really have no complaint, is Sleeping Dogs and Saints Row the Third. I think those are
Mhm.
some of the two best open world games
Do you know
that
I've
just
never played either one of those games?
they're
I
so. Sleeping Dogs you have to play. I feel like it needs to be played because not
yeah.
only is it a great open world game, it is a great story to it. The music you
Yeah.
could take or leave, depending on it. But I love, and this is why I love it over the Grand Theft Auto games. Definitely Grand Theft
Mhm.
Auto 5. There are sections where the AI is driving and all you do is shoot. Instead of
Mm.
you driving and having to shoot, because that's the problem that I also have with this is a
Oh,
game
it's
of sin,
terrible.
a game of sin, is that I have to drive and shoot, but my
Hmm.
shooting is connected to the driving. So if I'm trying to shoot left, I'm turning the car also left, and now I just hit a truck and fell off the bridge.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain to someone because Chicory, which is one of my favorite games of 2021, there is a boss fight where you're controlling the left side with the right stick and the right side with the left stick, and they're also in reverse. X and Y
Inverted.
are inverted. So that to me like was
Oh,
was destroying my brain. I
that
had to put it on infinite and easy mode. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like my eyes would get crossed. I'm like, I can't do this. So I put it on the I had to put Chicory on the easiest mode in infinite lives because I was like, I cannot do
can
this. I
I
can't
tell
do it.
you? That happened with me with Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, that's
That
another one.
final boss.
Hmm.
I had to turn my GameCube controller upside down to fight.
Yeah. I wasn't smart enough to do that because when did that game come out? Oh 05?
I think so, yeah.
Oh 05?
Or 4 or 5, yeah.
So I've been like 8 or 9 years old when I was playing that, and I was like, what is going on? Like I was like, this is so hard. I eventually did it because I was a kid and I was determined. I
Yeah.
had plenty of time to play games. As an adult, I'm like, I ain't got time for this crap. There's so many games I want to play. I cannot waste time doing this. I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to get out of it.
Uh yes. Um, well, I think that's enough for our game of
I will
skit.
say,
Oh, yeah,
I
go
will
ahead.
say, despite Ubisoft being one of the worst, I think Far Cry 5 is one of the best open world games.
I'm still working through that game. I haven't.
And the reason why, and some people hated this, but I personally love this, which I don't know how far you got in Far Cry 5. But when you're exploring the open world,
mm-hmm.
and the game wants you to go to the next story beat, it takes you there. It doesn't. How far are you into Far Cry 5?
I'm probably going to restart it from the beginning.
Okay. Did you ever see like any of the brothers and sisters, like, and the sister?
So I got to the part where I was taken to some dreamland to some women and stuff.
Okay.
It did.
So
I got there, but I've never fought any of their bosses on the side.
Okay. So I'm not spoiling anything when I say this, but when you are in the open world in the first section, when the next story beat wants you, it comes and gets you. And it makes so much sense for the story. I mean, in a way, it's Far Cry, so it's insane, but it's like, there's something that's happening here that needs your attention, but then you can spend like 30 hours just, doing whatever in the open world. It doesn't do that. It says, no, you need to come here now, and they come and get you through different ways. So like in the first deal, they come with you with guns, and they're shooting at you and all this stuff, and you can fight as long as you want, but they are going to get you. In the second area, it's the drugs. There's these different drug things that come that like affect your mind. You start seeing things, and then before you know it, they got you in their possession. In the third area, they come and get you. They come and put you. They do sleeping darts at you and stuff like that. And that to me was so cool because it doesn't take me out of the story. It actually pulls me back in the story. It doesn't let me get distracted with all the stuff. And I'm not wasting, because you get those markers in open world video games where it's like, here's your next objective. It is 4,000 meters away. And you're like, well, I guess I'll just do all the side stuff that's on the way there. And by the time you do all the side stuff that's on the way there, you forgot what you were doing in the first place. You forgot what you were doing.
That's Red Dead Redemption. That's Red Dead Redemption 2 all the way through.
You know what? You're not wrong. But what I like about Red Dead 2 is it makes sense as far as you're preparing to do the next part of the job. And so it gives you an excuse to like, hey, you're going to go out, but you're going to be getting money. You're going to be making relationships and all that stuff. And then that way we can build up and get ready for the next mission.
Yes.
Whereas in some of these open world games, it's like the world is going to end if you do not take out these bad guys. And you're like, well, I got to go find some treasure chests and, kill some bears to make some new armor and whatever. And so at least Red Dead 2 does that, but I do agree with you. There's a lot of like open world stuff in Red Dead 2 before you're like, what were we doing again? What was the mission again?
And everybody, we haven't even touched on the Yakuza series because that is a whole nother discussion about open world and gaming series. But any last words, Austin?
No. I think we've covered quite a bit. There's plenty more. I think also it's not just developers. We could talk about gamers. I would like to say this. Leave any attacks that you do to developers, leave that shit in 2021.
Oh, please.
Any fanboyism, whatever side you're on, leave that shit in 2021, man. Don't bring all that stuff in 2022. That's all I'm saying. Let's leave that stuff in the past.
Right.
Where Scalebound got left,
We're trying to thrive in 22. We're trying to vibe. We're trying to live our lives. We still got the pandemic going on, and we're just trying to have fun. We already got part of E3 not happening, so we want to have fun. With that, everybody, Austin, where can we find you?
You can find me at PlayStation on Twitter and Instagram. Of course, catch me on Crossroads PlayStation Podcast at twitch.tv/Exodus803. Tuesday nights, 8/7 Central with Ron, Chris, and Nelly. Hopefully we'll get Nelly back soon. So
yes.
Or she might be back at the time the episode comes out. I don't know. Who knows where we'll be when this episode comes out at?
Yes. And hopefully I could be on Crossroads. I'm trying to get things figured out because I would love to have it where I work during the Tuesday morning and then at night be like, I could fill in for a guest.
We would love to have you on. I wish I could be on Pow Block and Arsenal X more.
Yes.
But problem is like that 3 a.m. comes by real quick. I can only stay up late one night or I'm going to be paying for it the next morning. So.
And me dealing with all the folks. I get the late night folks and the crazy folks and the wacky Wednesdays. So good googly moogly.
I do not miss that. When I work Target night shift, I don't miss that at all. I don't miss it at all.
There are some nights that is really good, but somehow Wednesdays is the wacky day. And it's just like, I don't know where this nonsense come from. I don't see no circus that is around me. So why are you acting like some clowns in the store? I don't know. Not the time for it. Sometimes my blackness does come out. I call it my urbanness, but sometimes I get to a little bit get. Oh, the rock can tell you because sometimes I'll tell my friend in Seattle some things, but sometimes I'll tell LaRon some stuff, and I wish I could tell you, but I'm just like Austin is like it's probably sleep or something, so I can't mess with him. I'll be like LaRon, I wish you was here to knock these folks out, but. That's a whole another conversation. You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. You can check more of Boss Rush Network on our YouTube page and at bossrush.net. Once again, sign up for our Patreon. Help support Boss Rush Network, and you'll get bonus content like this in events 2 weeks early before it goes live on the original feed. With that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Oh, go ahead.
Join our Discord. Yes, you definitely. The link should probably in the description, I assume. But we're all trying to get to Discord because it's a good community there, and you don't have to worry about all the people on Twitter hating you all the time. So it's much friendlier at the Discord.
Yes, it is. Because we talk about games, snacks, movies, entertainment, and more. With that, everybody.
Let me tell you, the snack page is crazy.
The Snacktendo has been hot. It's been hot.
That Cinegram Crunch Toast that you put in there the other day.
Shout out to Geek Bro 27. He put it in. I'm still trying to look for it, dude. I found by the time you guys see this, I probably already talked about on Nintendo Pop Block. But Jelly Beans, the brand Jelly Beans, they finally got gummies out.
Oh. I haven't seen these.
They just came out. I went to the grocery store to go check the candy section and see what they got. They got original jelly beans and sour jelly beans gummies.
Oh well, I will definitely be in for the sour jelly beans. I'm all down. All down.
And I haven't tried them yet, but by the time you guys watch Snacktendo or by the time you guys see this, I have already talked about it. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about them. But everybody, that's it for another day. We will see you next time on Expression Pass. Bye, everybody.
See you later, everyone.